Gnarls, you stand in the back and see this Yeti on fire at this point with a spear on its shoulder. What would you like to do? And yes, the feat is accurate, or 33.1 works.
Get right on top of it, and I'm gonna hit it with this brand new dagger.
Go for it as you come running up. Ah!
I don't have a handle on it yet. I'm just not, I'm so used to the weight of the hand axe that this new light weapon, I just don't have the dexterity with it yet.
Yeah, it's just not, you walk up, you're used to a sword or something, so yeah, it's just, as you do so, this thing kind of swings and with one big, kind of comes in front of your face. It misses right then, more as just a reaction, but it stops you in your tracks. Anything else for you, Gnarls?
No, actually, that'll do. My turn. I'm gonna stand.
If you're wondering, I believe you do have dual wielding, so you're welcome to use your hand axe as well.
Alright, yeah, I'll take another swipe at it.
And it takes the 8 points of slashing damage.
Oh, it's only gonna be 3. That'll be with my offhand, so it's 3 points.
If it had been with your main hand, it would have been deeper. So you believe, yeah, so that happens. Alright, and now the Yeti's turn. The Yeti comes up, Gnarls, you're the closest thing to it. It's gonna rush forward and try and swipe and get out of this fire and back into the blizzard. Gnarls, you see a sweeping arm come with 5 claws attached to it, coming for your face. Oh, it does not. So Gnarls, it strikes your chest, but with your chainmail, this happens as if metal had hit metal. You're almost forced back a tad bit, but you come out unscathed. It roars, unhappy with this outcome. But since you're the closest one to it, it's going to attempt again one more time, just because everyone else is kind of far away. It's more pushing past you just to get out of the fire. It's going to go one. Oh, Gnarls. In this duel of moving back and forth of dexterity, you're caught off guard. There's a body behind you that's been unmelted by the snow, and you almost kind of trip. And in this, the Yeti takes advantage. Claws strike and pierce your chest through the chainmail. And as you're falling backwards, you're going to take 9 points of piercing damage. But as you fall kind of backwards and regain your footing, there's a coldness to your chest. Your breath no longer warms the area around you, and you feel very cold. And you take 6 points of cold damage on. As it's moved out of the fire, and I don't know if Taz, if that affects the spell at all.
No, I don't think so.
Okay, it moves out, and it's gonna. It looks at you, Laz. It runs up, but it stops, and it stares at you. And it catches you in this trance, eye to eye. You might have some saves for this, but it's going to attempt to go ahead and make a Constitution saving throw again for me. So with a 4, the cold seems to have affected your Constitution. And you're not used to fighting in this. You're used to fighting in fire on your back and the sweat of battle. And as your bones kind of lock up, you feel this paralysis come about you as if you're being frozen in ice. And you feel this chill to your bone. You take 6 points of cold damage. And because you failed, you're going to be paralyzed. But you're welcome to make the saving throw, of course, on the end of your turn. Everyone can see you kind of clamp up. Tornus.
All right. So I'm still in the tent, right?
Correct. You more hear all this going on than see it.
Okay. Well, Hoot could see it though, right?
Oh, this is true. So never mind. Yeah, you've seen everything and heard everything just as it's happened.
Okay. So I am gonna scamper out through the back of the tent where I cut with the sword, and I'm gonna try to get out so I can see the Yeti.
Yeah, you won't even have to roll just because of it being distracted. Yeah, you walk through kind of this small claw rip in the tent, and you're able to get out without being seen.
Okay. Now, while I'm doing this, Hoot is going to fly over to that body on the ground in front of the tent, and it's going to try to carve off the forearm of that guy who's just laying there and carry it. And then I'm going to cast prestigiation on it to make it the most amazing smelling piece of human flesh that a Yeti has ever witnessed. And I'm going to have Hoot fly in front of its face so it catches a whiff of it to try to distract it. And then I'm going to have Hoot drop the forearm, the severed forearm, into the snow a little bit farther.
Go ahead and make a roll for Hoot. Make a strength roll as if it was yourself. The spell will be easily able to be casted due to your mastery, but let's see if Hoot can rip that. Oh no!
Oh shit.
Hoot goes down and rips the arm off just as you've asked. You cast the spell, everything goes perfect, but Hoot flies a little too close to the Yeti, and the Yeti swoops up to grab the arm, but catches Hoot instead. You see Hoot is now in the claws of the Yeti as Hoot's wings flutter. Looks like the Yeti's about to just take a big bite out of Hoot, although I think Hoot might be magical.
Oh, son of a bitch. I mutter under my breath, and then I go back to hiding behind the tent.
You do smell a wonderful piece of meat, though. Everybody does. And upon this, the Yeti's kind of smelling it as well. Anything else for your turn?
Yeah, I think that's the end of my turn.
Okay, Laz. You're sitting there. Now that the Yeti seems to be distracted, go ahead and make a Constitution save with advantage, since the Yeti is now distracted. That will do with a nat 20. You burst free of your bonds of ice so fast that the Yeti doesn't see. I'll give you advantage on this next attack, because that's a nat 20.
Okay, coming out of the paralysis, Lazarine will just scream, "You coward!" and stab it wherever, just stabbing out frustration.
Go for it, and you have advantage as its arms are up. There's all sorts of places. Ooh, 11's not gonna do it, but you do have advantage. Oh, so you pull back, and the arm that's now holding a Hoot, we'll say he's holding Hoot in his left hand, the right hand comes back just to go at its side, which blocks your longsword just at the right moment as you, to the side. Let me see. And you got that extra plus one. Oh, did you add using a plus?
I did not, so it'd be...
Well, a 12? 12 is actually just enough, so as he backs it away, you pull your arm slicing through its side just in the nick of time.
One-handed, that's my shield.
Oh yeah, so you slash it, and it cuts through the side, and it, as Hoot is narrowly almost eaten, he takes a second to howl from the wound and snarl as blood oozes from the strike. Anything else for you?
Yeah, I'm gonna use my War Priest ability to attack again.
Go for it. In your rage, the power of Tempest fuels your rage of battle. Go ahead. Oh, with a 9. Well, technically a 10. So yeah, with a 10, you'll pull back, but he's ready for it, and he's angry. He's now coming at you, and your attack is blocked off as it hits one of its claws. You can hear the strike. Shing! Taz, you see this happen. As Laz is battling and dueling this Yeti, what would you like?
I'm gonna transform into a brown bear, and then I'm gonna go up and bite it and claw at it.
You are now the bear.
I can't see bear.
What would you like to do? This is bear. All of you see Taz just rip and morph and roar, coming forth as this large brown bear covered in snow, roaring. What would you like to do?
I'm gonna run up to the Yeti and bite it, because bear, the brown bear, has a multi-attack, so I'm gonna bite it and then attack it with my claws.
Go for it as you ravage at it. Go ahead and make those attacks. The bite, you come up and you got it on the arm, and with a 10, oh yeah, with a 20, with a 22, you bite in the arm, pulling pieces of meat in it. You begin to feel as if you're gnawing. And then the claw, as it rears back, you pull back and a claw comes flying. And the Yeti goes as you cut across its chest, and now it's catching itself off balance. You deal an additional 13 points of slashing. These big brown 3-clawed marks brazen across its chest, oozing. This thing is tattered. It's hurt. It's I guess it has a move, but it's kind of sulked a little. And you can see bones and pieces of tissue are showing. Anything else?
Nope. I'm just gonna stare at it.
All right, I'm gonna use my my bonus action first for a second wind. Then I'm going to. You said this thing is like it's looking kind of hurting right now, like pieces of flesh.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna grab that +1 dagger again. I'm gonna try to find like an area that's like, you know, the skin is coming off, and I'm just gonna stick the dagger and try to get it right inside of this thing.
Go for it, love.
Oh my god.
Ooh. A natural one, eh?
Oh yeah.
You leave Lord, close your eyes, and as you thrust forward to find it, the hand that had Hoot in it drops, and you stab something. When you open your eyes, your dagger is inside of Hoot, and Hoot is, flapping its wings crazily now. Tortoise, you feel like you've been stabbed. You feel like you've just been stabbed in the side, and it really hurts. Oh, does it hurt? But yeah, Tortoise, you feel this. Gnarls as this happens, and you open your eyes and realize what you've done. What would you like to do?
I'm gonna use an action surge, and I'm going to attempt to put this thing in a full Nelson.
Ooh, go ahead. And you've jumped on its back, hoping to help Hoot and your companions as you're running around. This thing is, but it's strong, and in this grapple hold you try and put it in, it reaches back, grabs you, and throws you onto the ground. With your cat-like reflexes, you're still able to, or Urk-like reflexes, you catch your footing. This thing's got muscles the size of your head, and you're unable to overpower it, but you kind of have it engaged. Your hands are locked in with its hands as it's pushing down on top. The Yeti is gonna kind of look down at you, Gnarls, and you feel this intensifying cold as you begin to feel icicles come out of almost the snow itself, covering you and trying to trap you solid as ice as you stand there, creeping up your feet and your legs, I should say. You see this frost kind of building. Go ahead and make a Constitution save. 16's gonna work. With the help of your ancestors, the cold doesn't bother you anymore. Breaking the ice, you're free, and you are not paralyzed. It sees this and it grows. It assumes that it would have frozen you. It walks away during this paralysis. It turns and looks at Laz, thinking you've been dealt with. And he's going to attempt to swing and claw at you, Lazarine, but I guess not. Tempest is at your side. Your blade parries back these claws. It grows angry as it tries it again. Once again, it's an easy due to its weakness. Just clink, clink. This thing's not doing much anymore. Tortoise.
Okay, so is it still holding Hoot, or is Hoot on the ground?
By this point, Hoot's been let go.
Okay, well, he's probably pretty badly injured, so I'm going to dispel Find Familiar to get him out of there, just to end his suffering. And then I am going to run out past Taz, the giant bear, and I'm going to cast Magic Missile at the Yeti. And as I do so, I am going to scream out, "Hot Comet!" And they're gonna shoot out of my wand.
Yelling out, balls of magic fly. Go ahead and roll for that. One hits it in the chest. Ooh. Another one is a yellow comet-looking missile strikes in the shoulder, right where the spear was. Ooh. It bounces back again as it stands there, kind of pulls up its chest and looks at you, letting out one last as this final comet strikes it in the chest, pushes through, and a 3-foot diameter hole is missing as the Yeti collects itself in its eyes and collapses under the ground. As this happens, all of you get the sense that something else is there. Behind you all, over here, is a tall white elk with ivory antlers, staring from afar.
I'll like motion to everybody as a bear and point or try to point with my paws.
Do you think Taz is trying to tell us something?
Ah,
Speak, woman. I can't understand you.
I'm just gonna pick up Tortoise and move him so he can see.
Can I take
Oh.
any pieces of
my.
Yeti?
You can certainly try. Make a survival check. With a 16, you're able to get a good Yeti pelt out of this. Not much meat. As you're going through and cutting, this is a really skinny animal. You assume so for a Yeti, but just for any animal, you're realizing that this thing is, is maybe was malnourished, or just hasn't had enough protein, as most animals in the wild do. And you're able to get 4 rations out of it. That's it. There's not much there. That's
pretty good.
edible. But you can get a full Yeti pelt.
Awesome. I'll hand out the 3 rations, one to each of my friends here.
Oh, thank you, Gnarls.
All of you can consider that 1 ration.
Eat up. Don't know the next chance we'll have.
At this point, all of you can see the elk just watching just over the crest.
What do you think that wants now?
Taz, are you still like pointing my head at the elk?
Now I've like set you down. I've picked you up and I've like put you.
I'm gonna look at the elk and I'm gonna make like little antlers with my fingers, with my hands pressed against my head, almost like you're doing the devil impersonation. Then I'm gonna kind of whisper through my teeth to everyone, I think we're boned. But to the elk, I'm gonna try to like smile and like pretend like, yeah, we're all friends here.
I was gonna say, as you say that, you can see it's beginning to walk off slowly, looking back walking off in that direction.
Well, there's nothing else here for us. I guess we might as well follow it again.
I think that's a terrible idea. It obviously led us into a trap with the Yeti, and now that it's seen us literally kill it and skin it and take its meat for sustenance, I think it's pretty clear what side we're on. I'm sorry, Taz, and I kind of pat her on the bare shoulder, but this might be a promise that would be worth breaking.
What should we do?
I'm just gonna pick him up with my mouth and just start walking off.
I'm gonna squirm and go, hey, put me down.
So I started laughing. You already see just, hey, whoa, that's gold.
You never know, Tornus. That may as well have been the hunter it was referring to.
Well, that's a keen observation, but somehow a part of me doubts that it's the truth.
Well, then, we've gotten our way out of worse situations.
I guess we're all just
Assuming with that,
following the elk at this point, but I'm in Taz's clutches.
Yeah.
as you all begin to follow, guiding you, it's walking across the snowy landscape, doing as it did before, just out of reach. But as it crosses over a hill, it brings you all here, bottom left corner of the screen. As you rise over the crest, you can see trees again. You can see that they're kind of coming in, there's rocks sticking out as well. And maybe there's a cave in the distance, but the elk itself is gone.
I'm gonna put Tornus down and shift back into myself again.
Very unpleasant, just so you know. If anyone was wondering, it's very unpleasant to be carried in a bear's mouth.
I bet you were warm.
As you're all welcome to move.
Do the elk tracks go into the cave? Or does...
Good question. It disappears before, but you can see tracks leading into the cave.
Okay, wait, hold on, before everybody moves. Hold on. While we were in the tents, completely forgot to mention this. Sorry about the Yeti, should have probably said about that. But I read this journal, and it said something. There is a cave nearby, and I believe that maybe in that cave specifically there might be Shardalin gems or crystals in there. I mean, it's a cave, and yeah.
That's very interesting. Perhaps we should go into the cave. Maybe this is the hunter that the elk was discussing, because undoubtedly we're going to find more of those ghastly monsters. It's practically a foregone conclusion at this point that the whole place will be filled with elithids.
As you guys are walking forward, Gnarls, you might be able to see, but all of you can, it seems at this point, see the bodies that lay outside, covered in snow.
Oh, sorry. I was just going to search one of these bodies.
I see. Oh, sorry about that. Yeah. Go ahead and make an investigation or perception check. You being the first to walk up, someone at first glance in similar winter clothing to those who you found. With a 22, you push back with your boot as it rolls over. There's a bite out of the throat, frozen. This body, frozen, of course, seems to, for magical means in your perception, to be a couple weeks, or about a 10-day old. This wound, though, is much fresher, if you will. In addition, you're patting around. This person seems to have everything they had from before. The pack, their stuff. As you're searching through it, you do find some stuff just on his body. In addition to the state you find him in, you also find... Ooh, we're looking at the wrong page. There it is. You find a bag of water similar to the guy, this one not being frozen, slung across him. Searching through more, as you open the pack, there are empty ration cans that seem to have been eaten through. But you also find a pouch of 10 silver. And stuck on the inside of this person, this one's got robes on underneath its winter clothing. You recognize these robes. With a fervent expression of emotion from a past memory, you have the inkling this could be possible. No. Pulling back open the robe, there's a patch on the inside. A royal emblem you haven't seen in a while, since your days back at Huxley. It is a symbol of the Arcane Brotherhood, the College of Neverwinter, the rivals of Huxley. You get a deep bad feeling in your chest as you remember the terrible things these wizards are known to do. But what they say is in the search of science and knowledge. Wherever they are found, trouble is to be found close by. You also notice that these robes are mages' robes. Knowing from your knowledge of the Arcane Brotherhood and their colleges that these are mages' robes. Every mage is given one. While Torrance is searching the body, what are the rest of you?
I relay all this information to the others, and I kind of shake.
Oh yeah, the journal did say something about what was it? The Arcane Brotherhood.
Yes, it is very, very disturbing to see a mage of this caliber with his throat torn out. The throat was torn out after he died.
Really quick question, not to interrupt, sorry. Taz, did you tell Tornus the name that was on?
Oh no, never asked.
Never mind.
When Tornus mentions the throat being slit. Yeah, the other bodies back there, the wounds seem to be after they had died. Don't know what that means, though.
Necromancy, perhaps? The Yeti is a probable cause, but I can't imagine it leaving pieces behind as large as these bodies.
With your 22, you also know, Tornus, that this wound is different from the ones you saw. All of you can see Gnarls is sniffing the front of the cave while this is happening. And Laz, I'm sorry, I didn't quite catch what you said.
I just told Tornus that the other bodies had wounds that were after they died as well.
Okay, yeah, sorry, that was something else. Then yeah, of course, never mind. You guys are welcome to continue your conversation.
I'm searching the other body.
Make an investigation or perception check. Gnarls, as you've seen, as I've typed below, but I'll iterate for the group, you smell meat, like butcher shop meat. Does that make sense?
I'm gonna walk a little bit further into the cave. Follow the smell.
Go ahead. Yeah, you walk in, and that's kind of what you see just right off the bat. But I'll get more to that in a second. Because Taz, with a natural one, when you flip this guy over, he's covered head to toe in that same crystal that you found. But it's all over him, head to toe. Rearing back, you've got a little bit on your hand, and you can feel it growing. You can see a pop of another crystal. Now you got 3 crystals coming out of your hand, or I guess attached to your hand. Pop, pop. Now there's 5. Pop, pop. Now there's 6. Now your hand is beginning to get covered in crystal.
I touched something I shouldn't have this time.
What is it?
I'm just gonna show them the hand.
God.
Her hand is covered in this purplish light.
Could I make a medicine check to see if I would know like how to fix it or what it is?
With a 24, you've not sure what it is, other than it looks similar to the Shardalen and the lance and all that, and all the gems you've been finding. From your clerical past, you've seen wizards use spores on people that have a similar effect. And the only way really to do anything about it is to take a hammer or something sharp and strike at the crystallines as hard as you can, sometimes resulting in breaking of bones. Usually in the spores you dissolve it, but sometimes smashing and breaking it has been known to break the psilocybin and of the mushroom of these fungi that you've seen. So coming up to Taz, the best thing you can think of is to do this. You take the pommel of your longsword, smashing the rock, but you do it in just the right way to where Taz, it hurts, but the rocks fall off in a spiderweb-like crack, and your hand is undamaged. It feels like somebody punched it really hard, but you're fine. Laz, you rolled very well. It's as if this is not the first time you've cleared someone of something.
Try not to touch anything if you don't know what it is, as he's sheathing his longsword.
Sorry. Thank you, though.
Thank goodness we didn't have to perform another amputation.
Oh, I like my hand.
Oh no. No. Oh god, no. Gnarls, as this is all happening, you walk into the cave and there's a different sound. Quite literally.
I listen intently.
Echoes, the dripping of the cave. Give the sense that you're unsure if it's large or small, complex. But the wind is not as heavy as it is outside. But you almost can hear scraping every once in a while. When you walk in, you feel like you see something go around the corner. Big and hairy.
Try to crouch down like I'm gonna get all sneaky. For, as sneaky as a half-orc can get.
Make a stealth check for me. Okay.
It's 5.
You're not sure. It's marked out of range, but you crouch down, and as you're walking, you're not outside, so it's not slunch, slunch like it was snow. You have a feeling you might be hidden from it. Tornus, Laz, and Taz, all of you can see Gnarls crouching down, and you're all welcome to walk into the cave. It should let you.
I think I'm going to crouch walk up to the back of Gnarls.
Tornus, since you're outside the cave, I won't make you roll. You only really have to roll if you see something. You're able to crouch up behind Gnarls. When you walk in, you hear a similar echoing, wallowing sound as you can hear now. To the left, it looks like erosion of wind has pushed back the ice smooth. You don't see anything frozen in it except for rocks and whatever part of the mountainside is there. But you see there's a corridor around the corner. Don't see anything as a person. Laz and Taz, what are you two doing?
No, I'll follow them.
And I'll kind of take the rear watching, making sure nothing's trying to sneak up behind us.
Gnarls, you're at the head of this line. You're the first to do anything.
Right, I'll just keep sneaking right up on the edge of this wall right here. I think I saw something. I don't know what it was, but it went somewhere over here. Just try to be quiet.
As you do that, coming around the corner, you have a better view of that room over there, or that cave hole. You think you see something. I see something over here. All of you see Gnarls begin walking towards that direction. What with the rest of you? Yeah, go ahead and move, or if there's something else you'd like to do, go ahead and let me know too. You guys are beginning to move.
Lazarine's following just a little slower.
He's
watching the back.
Okay, and all right, so Laz, you're doing that. You're staying in the back.
Yeah, I had a question about the walls. Are they all frozen over, like the picture, or are they more of like a dark cave kind of wall?
Very similar to the picture. It's and they're jetting out, and it's smooth, kind of. The other, I guess, cave you could say was smoother, but yeah, it looks very similar to the picture. Rocks frozen in. You don't see anything in the walls of the ice, at least at first glance. And yeah, they're jagged, but it's covered in a soft, see-through sort of ice cover, as you would find in a cave.
I guess I'm gonna try to taste the cave wall and see if I can detect any trace of what might live here, similar to what.
Make make a nature check or a perception check, Taz. While that's going on, Taz, so you come around the corner there, you see something coming down the corridor slowly. With a 14, Tornus with a 14, you take a lick. Laz, you see this. The taste buds tell you bird, mammal, feathers, some sort of. Nah, it can't be right. You swear you can taste owl. While you're tasting for the owl, Gnarls. Or I'm sorry, Taz.
Guys, there's another Yeti.
That's a good question. Depends. As you've walked in, you've come to an interesting sight. What you saw, you weren't sure at first, but it looks like columns and then stuff hanging from the ceiling. As you walk in, you're getting a better look. There's probably about 5 or 6 people hanging upside down, frozen from the ceiling. They're not caught in a web. It looks like something's thrown them up there, and they're hanging, all with their arms doused towards the floor.
What's holding them up?